Good morning. So today is section 37. It was December 1830 in Fayette, New York, and it's for the church, Joseph Smith Jr. and Sidney Rigdon, and the doctrine or theme is inspired version of the Bible. I don't know how accurate that is, because that doesn't sound... Anyways, what is happening in this section is that the Lord says, okay, it's time to take a break on translating because y'all need to get out. So Fayette, New York is here. And they have to go to Kirtland, Ohio here. It says that Satan is moving against them in New York. There are enemies building up, and it's starting... It doesn't seem like they know this, but it's starting to become dangerous. And because of the missionaries that were just sent out to the Lamanites, Kirtland, Ohio has almost, 3 times as many saints in Ohio as in New York. And so the Lord says, all right, time to gather in Ohio. Get out. Yeah. And this is the first mention of a gathering place. It's talked about gathering the saints before, but this is the first mention of a gathering place. Now, that's not to mean that this is the official gathering place, the New Jerusalem. We know that's not true. But this is just a safer place for the saints. Is there anything I wanted to say? There's nothing in the Ludlow, and it's a really short section. I want to say 4 verses. Yeah, 4 verses. Yeah, that's basically it. Anything at all. Anything at all. The podcast was really good. It was a short one this week, but it was still good. Let's see. I think most of what they talked about is coming up in section 38, so I'm wondering how much of that I want to get into. Okay. The prophet Joseph Smith said the following about gathering. All that the prophets have written from the days of righteous Abel down to the last man who has left any testimony or record of our consideration, speaking of the salvation of Israel in the last days, go directly to show that it consists in the work of gathering. The saints were commanded to gather to Ohio because opposition in Fayette had become intense. The movement of the church would be drawn constantly west as persecution arose, and it became necessary for church members to be protected by moving farther and farther west. The Lord had an ultimate pattern in this because the city of Zion was to the west, and the church would eventually be located there. I believe that they say in the podcast that they didn't exactly get up and move right after this revelation was given. I believe 38 tells them to move as well. So yeah. December of 1830, the Lord says move to Fayette, and then in January 1831, the Lord says get up, get out, move. So we'll talk more about that tomorrow. So this section is just kind of a precursor to what's coming next. And also, this weekly's reading is the last bit of the Fayette section of the church history. After this, You know, we move to Ohio, and then we move again, and then we move again, and so they say in the podcast, it's the cradle of the restoration. So this is where it all began. This is where it all started. It's the cradle where it was born, and then they moved to Ohio, and then the law is given. So, I mean, it's been a marvelous beginning, and now we're gonna move on to some more exciting things. All right, that is all I have for section 37. See you tomorrow.